Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to another episode of Football Moshla. We are back. I'm your host, Qazi Adil. I have with me our Moshla specialist, Fardhan Ahmed. And sorry to be missing a few episodes here and there because Fardan is actually on travels. সে এখন বাংলাদেশে ঘুরতেছে এমন হ্যাপি হয়ে গেছে যখন ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড ম্যানচেস্টার সিটিকে হারাইছে যে সে সেলিব্রেট করছে উইথ সাম মশলা and then he had to take out some মশলা out of his system. So মশলা and under the weather combination হয়ে so ফারদান এখন আবার ব্যাক করছে রিয়ালিটিতে after Bournemouth took care of another special মশলা for him, gave a dose of mosla to him. So Fardan, how's it going?
It went in, it went out. That's all I can say. It's like a normal thing apparently. Like everybody's been saying that. Like, hey, Astro, hobe. And people have been talking about it. So, I was in high spirits when we last potted. It was, I think, within 4 days of me landing, or 3 days. So I was still in high spirits. I was maintaining what I eat. But everybody said, don't eat street food, eat at home.
Acha.
Or at the restaurant. He said restaurants are okay, but this thing happened from restaurant, and apparently it was the marination, the moshla. Actually, everybody said the doctor, whoever I spoke to, আসলে ভাইয়া মশলা গুলা আপনার স্যুট করতেছে না।
একদম
এক্সাক্ট,
সুন্দর
আই
করেছে।
কোট অন কোট, এখানকার মশলা আপনাকে স্যুট করতেছে না। So এটা আমি তাকায় আছি, like this is right after me like throwing up. Like literally I ate and within দেড় ঘন্টা I'm at home, the same thing is coming out. I'm sorry about the grisly details, but yeah, that thing was very very bad for me. But yes, and Bournemouth thing happened which made me feel worse. জ্বর ঠান্ডা কাশি whatever, but here I am.
Yeah, it's good to have Fardan back. And I didn't want to do any mosla stuff without Fardan because আমার কাছে মশলা ছিল না কাজ আমি পুরা এপিসোডটাতে আসলে পুরো ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড ম্যানচেস্টার সিটিকে ব্যাশ করতাম and audience will be like, you know what, not worth listening to this guy. So without wasting any more time, ask the topics that we will cover. Basically, game week 18 FPL. Kake transfer kora uchit, who to transfer in, who to transfer out, which team to select, which players to get, and the biggest one is who's going to replace Saka in your
Differentials and
FPL
captaincy.
differentials and captaincy. Saka is out with a hamstring injury for many weeks, according to Arteta. So that means he's not going to be back until the end of the season. I guess that's my thing, or maybe March, or maybe February. I don't know.
At
Many
least
weeks can be.
at least 3-4 weeks.
Okay. So Saka ke tarah definitely replace korte hobe. Don't hold on to him. And we're gonna wrap up the whole episode with our beloved Manchester clubs, Manchester City and Manchester United. I know it's getting boring, but these are Moshla topics, man. Come on. So let's
Yeah,
dive right into it.
yeah.
Fardhan,
Yes.
তুমি তো এখনো scientist আছো. You're giving the professor a run for his money, which is great. আমার সাথে তোমার দেখা হওয়ার পর থেকে I went from first place in our mini league to all the way to 9th place.
I think
ঠিক
it's
আছে তো
because of your trust in Larson. I think that's what's happening. Got a chance to look at your team, and I
হুম
looked at the score line of how low you've been scoring the last couple of weeks, especially this week. I think you trusted Larson too much. Those Cunha points would have really helped you out. And if I do a quick peek, guys, I'm sorry. My flow is not going to be as good as before, but I'm going to quickly say that I think what happened to you is that also a wrong captaincy choice this week. And
হুম
obviously, we can
yeah
never tell that. I think whoever did not captain Salah this week really like they suffered so much. And I think even in our mini league, whoever was trailing me, he did not captain Ryan. He did not captain Salah, and he plummeted in the ranking. You plummeted in the ranking. Uh, Crystal Palace didn't do you good. Guardiola gave you 0 points. Your defense was an absolute nightmare. I'm sorry to say that. But yeah, the Jackson Larson thing is not paying off. I think we should
nope
start with the striker situation since we are talking about your team. I think
yeah
Jackson, I think it's a good time to get rid of him or bench him. I mean,
Jackson,
yeah,
you sure? Because he's coming up against Fulham, right?
he
Home to
is.
Fulham.
He is coming up with
He
Fulham, and Fulham just got off. got off a goalless draw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so you really want to. Okay, I mean, I know that যাদের free transfer আছে, those who have one free transfers, my suggestion is you can bring in Duran.
Yeah.
Though he's a good one, but Jackson can replace করে. I think you can replace him with João Pedro, right?
I mean, Isak is hot property. Whoever transferred him last week was really, really, really ওরা
Beyond my
profited
budget.
হয়েছে। আর ওটার কারণে I think even though 17 points would have helped you a lot. So I got him, I think, the earliest in my mini league. So I think that's the trick. Whoever you bring in early, who you think might profit you. So that helped me
Yeah.
last season. It helped me with Isak. That was the first thing that paid off for me this season. Aston Villa are traveling to Newcastle. So Newcastle has been defensively very solid. But here's some data about Duran. Duran has been converting low XG chances into goals.
Yes.
His XG is 0.18, 0.2, 0.25, and he comes up with a goal because he's super, super capable of converting those chances. So, and by the way, Rogers, we have to mention how sweet was he in that game
Hmm.
against Manchester City.
Yeah.
He really served it in a platter for Duran to score. Duran missed an easy chance right after within 2 minutes. So his potential to score is very high. Now
Yeah.
with Newcastle, it's going to be Isak Duran factor. No, it's going
Hmm.
to be a kind of a gamble, but it's definitely a good choice.
So they might cancel each other out, right? So Isak score করতে পারে, Duran নাও করতে পারে, বা Duran করতে পারে, Isak করতে নাও পারে। যেহেতু যাদের টাকা নাই আর যারা ইসাককে নেন নাই, so then just go with Duran if you want. But it's a
You
tricky
can.
fixture. But
It's
here's another thing. It's a midweek game, so Duran now start করতে পারে, Watkins start করতে পারে.
Yeah, that's another factor. Yes. For example, whoever has been eyeballing Liverpool assets, remember that there are a lot of people who played 90 minutes. Luis Diaz played 90 minutes.
Yeah, so he might
Diego
not
Jota
play.
came off the bench. So Jota
Yeah,
might start. And
yeah.
Diaz might start also. He's a Colombian. He's very fit. So, I mean, South American people are
You
usually.
really think Colombians are fit, Fardan?
Yeah.
I played with Colombians.
Okay, let me rephrase. He is a Colombian
No
athlete
disrespect,
who
no
plays in the
disrespect to
Premier League.
Colombians, but
No disrespect.
Colombians, দেরকে বিয়ার ধরাই দিলে,
Hmm.
they can be fit.
Cerveza.
Yeah. Before or after the game, give them a beer. Fantastically fit.
Since we're talking about strikers, we have to mention Gabriel Jesus.
Yes.
Why? Enlighten us.
Because সে সাকা নাই, সো তাকে আইদার উইং এ খেলাবে মার্টিনেলির সাথে অথবা স্ট্রাইকে খেলাবে, হ্যাভার্টসকে রোটেট করাবে ওর সাথে মিডফিল্ড পজিশন থেকে। And I think he scored like 6 goals against Crystal Palace in a game of two games, right? Like
Yeah.
matter of 2 days,
EFL and Premier
3
League,
days.
all within a
Yeah.
space of 3-4 days.
So but গ্যাব্রিয়েল জেসুসের ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে সাকা যদি থাকতো তাহলে আমি রেকমেন্ড করতাম না, বাট সাকা যেহেতু নাই, সো ইটস এ ভেরি বিগ চান্স ও আসবে, এবং হি ইজ প্লেইং এগেইনস্ট ইপসউইচ, রাইট? That's another
At
thing.
home. So
That's
yeah,
home, at home.
Odegaard, Jesus, Havertz. I think these are hot properties. I think you should consider all three of them. Jesus, if he goes in the wing, his assist potential will go higher than his goal threat. So
Hmm.
Havertz, I think, will be there to tap in. Ipswich defense is looking terrible, so you can definitely load up on Arsenal assets.
I did load up on Arsenal assets, so Gabriel Jesus আর load up করতে পারবো না. I have already
You
3
did your
Arsenal
transfers
assets.
already, didn't you?
Of course, man. I do my transfers before the prices go up or
Very
down.
smart.
Yeah. And this week I'm very bullish. I'm just saying it on camera. I am not caring about negative points. A man who has nothing to lose is a very dangerous person in FPL. So the gamble is going to be very much. I'll play wild cards with negative points. Let's just keep it at that.
There
This
is
is going
no
to
way
be,
to play wildcard with negative points.
yes, it is. Like this is my wild card. I'm going to take all the negative points and I'm going to gamble on certain players in the hope of that they're
Oh,
going to
you're talking
make up
about an
those points.
informal wildcard.
Yeah, unofficial wild card. Yeah, not. But that might be a chip too. I'm not waiting till December 29th or January 1st for the second wild card. I'm going to play a wild card with negative points, and then there's going to be another wild card that's going to happen sometime in March.
Two advice. First advice: don't play it. It's just you know, whenever we fall in the rankings, we get desperate, and I know I've
Yeah,
been through it. The stress levels go up. Why am I down? Why am I down? But this is a marathon and not a sprint. You have to know that. You know, this is you still have, I don't know, 20 plus weeks, 20 weeks left, right?
yeah,
So in this 20 weeks, so much can change. Anybody can make a wrong move. We know that some people are not capable of wrong move. Like, for example, Professor, he's so good. Like, he has everything he's doing. Mashallah, is working to perfection. But
yes.
I think that you should take your time and not do it. But if you're trying to be crazy and you go for the second method, which I do not recommend, if you do minus 12, you
Hmm.
might be able to consider triple captain.
How do I consider triple captain? I already used it.
Or you did?
Yeah, all my cards are played, baby. All my cards have been played. I have only the new chip that is coming in as assistant manager and the next wild card. So if I do minus 12, one way I can recover it is by making whoever is a transfer minus 4টা recover করতে পারি, so minus 8 এ থাকবে. But the person I'm bringing in will have to deliver on that day. This is a high
That's a
risk
gamble.
gamble.
So talk us
Yeah,
through it.
because there are two fixtures that can benefit me: the Arsenal Ipswich and the Liverpool Leicester. There's one guy who can benefit, and let's go straight into the Saka replacement. That is Luis Diaz, but I don't think he played the full 90 minutes, and I don't think Arne Slot fancies him that much. He fancies Gakpo, but here's my issue with Gakpo and Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is playing as a striker. He played as a striker. Gakpo plays on the left wing. FPL এ গ্যাকপোকে মিডফিল্ডে আনা যায় না। FPL এ গ্যাকপো is a striker আর Luis Diaz is a midfielder. I so wanted Gakpo in the midfield and I so wanted Luis Diaz as a striker to replace one of my Jacksons, the Durans and the Pedros. So that is not a possibility. But I have a gut feeling that Luis Diaz will start against Leicester and will score. I think the combination of Luis Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah will still be there, even though it's going to be hectic. Jota আসছে, but I don't think Jota's going to play start. I
Did
have a feeling
you
that he's going to start the same front three
did you
with
transfer already?
Shabashalai as, huh?
Did you transfer already?
I didn't transfer it yet. I took a minus 8. I didn't take a minus 12 yet. That's why
You
you
already
are
took the
here.
minus 8.
I already took the minus 8. I needed to because I cannot look at my defense like that.
Who did you bring in?
Oh, I brought in goalkeeper Raya. I got rid of my Hermansen, and I Saka replacement is Saka replacement was not a minus 8. I brought in Martinelli. I think Martinelli will be a better replacement. Good goal threat থাকে in
Okay.
terms of Saka. I didn't want to bring in Bruno or Odegaard. And I brought in my striker. I replaced Randy with Duran.
Okay. These are all actually decent moves. Like, these are
Yeah.
not bad at all. However, for someone who's desperate for points, instead of
Hmm.
balancing so much, and I know you're trying to spread your eggs, not your eggs, like you're trying to
I
cover
don't
cover
produce
those space,
eggs.
and to cover all the spaces. But I think that
Yeah.
Liverpool, the way, like, they're a hungry pack of wolves, man. When they attack, it's a treat to watch. It's like almost like playing FIFA in the counter attack. So Arsenal Ipswich, they will score. We know that they will score.
Hmm.
But Liverpool, when they score, it's a party, you know. And in that party, you have Salah, Szoboszlai, Diaz, Gakpo. Now, this is a huge gamble since it's a midweek. If it was a weekend, we would have gone blind, like load up.
Yeah. But yeah.
I even read on Twitter, there's someone who has three Liverpool midfielders this weekend. He brought
Hmm.
in Luis Diaz and he
Hmm.
brought in sorry, either McAllister or Szoboszlai, someone. But he's that
Hmm.
desperate for points.
Yeah.
And that person has activated triple captain on Salah.
He's gonna get back the points. He's gonna do good because
So that's
Salah
how,
Leicester.
if you spoke to me before making the transfer, I would have hit on the brake and be like, listen, if you're desperate for points, don't worry about keeper. Don't worry about defense. Just load up on the midfield. Because even if you do, they have West Ham coming up next, which is
Mm,
another good fixture.
I don't think so. I don't think so. West Ham has turned a corner.
Or
Wan Bissaka point দেখছো total?
I didn't.
FPL এ পিকফোর্ড এন্ড ওয়ান বিসাকা, ঠিক আছে, কোনো কিছু ক্লিন শিট মিন শিট রাখে না, কিন্তু পয়েন্টটা আগে থাকে।
He's good. Well,
No,
Saka is doing
I
very
don't
good
think
in West Ham.
আমার মনে হয় and Mikel Antonio's injuryটা had made them very mobile. They're not holding up the play. They're making it like Bowen এর সাথে লিঙ্ক আপ প্লে কুদ্দুস ডাকি কুদ্দুসের ভালো ইয়ে হচ্ছে আর কি। So I don't think West Ham is an easy fixture
They're playing
now.
Southampton in this week since
Southampton
we're
তো
so
yeah,
Bowen is also a potential replacement for Saka, but
yeah.
only for 1 week, honestly, because they're playing Liverpool next. So since we're talking about a Saka replacement, it has to be a long-term replacement, at least for 3-4 weeks, right? So it has
Mhm.
to be, I think it has to be a Liverpool asset. I think lock in a Liverpool asset. And Man City has beautiful fixtures, Everton and Leicester and West Ham, but we know what they're going through. Or else I would have recommended De Bruyne, Foden for sure. Foden I think is going to be a differential this week because he's playing Everton at home. Everton has been rock solid in the defense, so if you're worried about defenders, you can definitely consider Ashley and Tarkowski as an Everton defensive asset.
Is he Ashley Young? I'm not sure. Is he suspended this week
Not
or
sure.
he's not?
I'm not sure at all.
He's not, I guess, but we'll see. I am not sure. We should not be spreading wrong information.
I'm so sorry,
So
guys.
I know that somebody is suspended. There is a list of suspensions, but it keeps on changing. আমি মনে করি Liverpool assets is good because home to Leicester and then away to West Ham, yes, but then there's an easy fixture called Manchester United home to Manchester United. Load up on that, especially. But then there's away to Nottingham Forest. I don't think that's an easy fixture. Away to Brentford, then home to Ipswich. So I think Liverpool is good, but Arsenal kharap na kintu. Home to Ipswich, away to Brentford, away
Both
to
are
Brighton.
defensively weak.
Brighton at a difficult away, but Brighton is looking like they're losing form,
Yeah,
and then home to Tottenham. Tottenham though is licking goals left, right and center.
left,
Old
right,
Trafford
center.
মানে ওল্ড ট্রাফোর্ডের মতো করে লিক করতেছে, পানি যেভাবে ওদের রুফ থেকে পড়ে। So and home to Aston Villa, that is Arsenal. So I think holding on to, I brought in Martinelli for this game, and then I'm probably gonna see how he performs and then switch it to somebody else. There's Ismail Assar, I think, but Crystal
Oh
Palace
yeah,
are going down, but he keeps on scoring, so
he does.
that's
He
an
does.
option. So
But
and then
remember that for Crystal Palace, they also kind of turned the corner. Since they're playing Bournemouth away, Bournemouth has been prolific this season. We have to give a shout out to manager Iniola. I'm sorry, Inraiola.
Iraola.
Iraiola, thank you. Out of the top 6 clubs, he has beaten Hotspurs, he has beaten Manchester United, he has beaten Manchester City, and he has beaten Arsenal, right?
Shop, not big teams at all. These are like small, like mid-table teams, you know.
So I think that's like a huge shout out to him. Like he's been doing so good with that team. And Bournemouth honestly are not a superstar team, but the unity, the tactics are wonderful. I think that for Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Ismail Assar is a good shout for this week. But if I were you, I would bring in Sar for game week 19 when they play Southampton at home.
Yeah. I'm not bringing him. I didn't bring him yet.
Okay.
Then there's Ahmad situation.
What is the situation?
I have him. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
going to play him. Wolves I don't know if I'm going to play him. A lot of people have Ahmad after Manchester City. ওটা তো আবেগে, মানে ইমোশন দিয়ে নেওয়া হয়েছে, আবেগে, যদিও আমি জানি যে ওইটা ওয়ান হিট ওয়ান্ডার, বাট ওলসের সাথে, বাট এগেন ওটা ওয়ান হিট ওয়ান্ডার বলা উচিত না, বিকজ ওর ট্যালেন্ট আছে, ওইভাবে বলটাকে নামায়ে দৌড়ায় কন্ট্রোল করে ড্রিবল
Insane.
করে, মানে হ্যাঁ, সো হি ইজ এ ট্যালেন্টেড হি ইজ ট্যালেন্টেড, ভেরি মাচ ট্যালেন্টেড, বাট আমার কথা হচ্ছে যে ও কি পারফর্ম করতে পারবে নাকি Wolves এর সাথে, বিকজ ওর আশেপাশে যদি ট্যালেন্ট গুলা না পারফর্ম করে, আই ডোন্ট থিংক হি ক্যান। But again, it's Wolves. But then Wolves will have a new manager bounce, which they already did against Leicester. তারা জিতছে 3-0. And I have a very much good feeling যে লার্সনকে আমি সরাই নিছি, এখন লার্সন স্কোর করবে ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড এগেইনস্টে।
Remember,
So,
Manchester United on the road are terrible. Like away, they have been doing so
আরে
bad.
অন দ্য রোড কি, হোমেও তো আমরা আমরা কানিংহাম, আমাদের কানিংহাম এফসি তো হোমে ওদেরকে হারাইতে পারবে। We can go to Manchester, we can go to Old Trafford and beat them. The way they're leaking goals and leaking, and then mice infestation, right? ইঁদুরে ভরে গেছে ওল্ড ট্রাফোর্ড।
Yes.
You didn't know that? এটা
No.
ইস্করা কি আছে? ওল্ড ট্রাফোর্ড ইজ অনেক ওল্ড, নামই তো ওল্ড ট্রাফোর্ড, ওখানে রেনোভেশন তো করা হয় নাই, তো ফুটা
No, I
ফুটা
have
দিয়া
a
ইঁদুর
phobia
ঢুকে।
of mice and rats, Arki.
You live in New York City, you cannot
No,
have that phobia, might have to move from there. And then you also live in Dhaka, so I don't think you have a choice of
no, I'm surrounded by
তুমি
rodents.
তুমি তো ইঁদুর থেকে বেশি দূরে যাও নাই, দুইটা শহরে চুজ করছো যেখানে ইঁদুরে রাজ করে।
Infested.
সো এখন তুমি ম্যানচেস্টার যেতে পারো, ইউ ক্যান গো টু ম্যানচেস্টার, ওখানে তোমাকে ওয়েলকাম জানাবে তারা, স্বাগতম। সো
What you just said was a YouTube short.
ম্যানচেস্টারে তোমাকে জানাবে, স্বাগতম করবে। তারপরে তোমার লেটস টক অ্যাবাউট, সিন্স আমরা মিডফিল্ডে আছি,
Yeah,
যেখানে আমি এনজোকে নেই নাই, বাট অনেকে এনজো আর পালমারকে নিয়ে ডেভেলপ করছে,
yeah,
করে
including me.
এভারটনের সাথে ধরা খাইছে। তো এখন পালমার ভাইয়ের কি কাহিনী, ফুলামের সাথে কিছু করবে না পালমার ভাইয়ের, মানে পালমার আর এনজো এই দুইটাই অনেকের কোয়েশ্চেন,
I
বিকজ
like
অনেকে
it.
আবার কিন্তু সাকাকে রিপ্লেস করতে পারে এনজোকে দিয়ে।
So here's the thing. I'm going to talk about both of them briefly. So Palmer, I would like to call him a pocket rocket, right? So you have him in your team. He will burst into 20 points, 18 points one
হুম
week, but he will quiet down for 2, 3 weeks. So that's
হুম
how he has been this season. He's not the Palmer
হুম
of last season. Whatever it may be, fitness, transition, whatever you want to call it. Enzo was prolific in the last, I think, 5 weeks. He was very, very advanced as a number 10. And
হুম
under Maresca, he has like found new breathing space in the midfield. So he's very advanced. He has does his goal threat shot up like a lot of like by a high percentage in the last 5 weeks. Now Chelsea's fixture, we have to go by fixtures here since we are suggesting midfield replacements. Fulham at home, Ipswich away, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. So would you like to have Enzo at this time? If they failed to score against Everton, will they fail to score against Fulham, who do have a good defense, but it's not the best defense. So Enzo is definitely under consideration. But remember, with Liverpool midfield, I'm sorry if I keep repeating, with those double Liverpool midfield, you might not need an Enzo. But again, if your budget enables you, go for Liverpool. If you're short with money, just like my friend Adil, go for Enzo.
আই এম স্টিল, মানে ও তো ডিভোর্স করে বাউন্স পাইছে, একটা বাউন্স পেয়ে গোলগুলা করা শুরু করছে। So, আমার কথা হচ্ছে যে ওর হানিমুন ফেজ উইথ ডিভোর্স ইজ কামিং টু অ্যান এন্ড। সো আই এম নট টু শিওর ইফ ইজ গোনা কিপ অন গোয়িং। সো এই জন্য আমি এনজোকে এখনো ট্রান্সফার করি নাই, বাট ওকে ট্রান্সফার করার চান্সেস অনেক আছে। away to Ipswich, away to Crystal Palace, home to Bournemouth, home to Wolves. So চান্সেস আছে আর কি। বাট আমার কথা কোয়েশ্চেন হচ্ছে যে লিভারপুলে যে মিডফিল্ডের কথা বলতেছো, সো ইউ আর বুলিশ অন হু নাও, লাইক ফর দিস গেম উইক 18,
Hmm.
is it Gakpo, is it Luis Diaz, is it Jota, or is it Szoboszlai?
So Szoboszlai had a very. They ran a lot. Liverpool ran like crazy. They had chance after chance. So they're going to be very tired. But we know
Hmm.
that Liverpool have a great physiotherapy team. Salah is going to be up and ready. He hit the gym, whatever. So out of this, there's going to be heavy rotation in the defensive and attacking midfield. I feel like McAllister will play more minutes. Szoboszlai might come off as a replacement. There's already been chatter on the FPL and the Premier League that there's a high possibility Jota will start. Okay, so Jota, Gakpo, Salah is a good three people attack, but we're forgetting one very key person in this Liverpool team who's not a midfielder or a striker. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent
Hmm.
was absolutely phenomenal in this match. He had an assist, an excellent assist, and the goal that Salah scored, which was a flick on from Szoboszlai's header, was also a long ball from Trent. Trent has really like he was very good in that match. So I think again it's a budget issue. Trent is one of the most expensive midfielders in FPL. So Trent, Salah, Gakpo is a good all around. You get three different pieces of the pie. But Trent, Salah, Jota might be also good if you're a lot of money tied up in the striker slots.
So your suggestion and your prediction is this, that Luis Diaz will not start this game week. That's your gut feeling.
My gut feeling is saying that Slot is like very hungry for goals. So and he's playing Leicester and the team is very hyped up. Like they really wanna score more against Leicester and I feel like Diaz and Jota will be heavily rotated, but my gut
Hmm.
feeling says Jota will start the match.
So the Diaz এর কোনো লাভ হবে না, গ্যাক পরে আনা যেতে পারে. Yeah, but
Sometimes
anyway, so
Gakpo plays as
that's
a number 9 also.
Gakpo plays the number. I mean, you can only choose him as a striker in FPL. There's no other way you can
Yeah.
choose Gakpo in midfield. So
Also,
now,
I'm sorry, one more
yeah,
thing. There's some very important thing to note. Szoboszlai is just like Strand Larson, who will always go towards the goal and assist to Salah or assist to Diaz. He's a very selfless player. Okay,
mm,
Luis Diaz is a selfish player, which is great for FPL assets because we want that person to shoot, get the bonus
score.
points, and get the goals. So Szoboszlai will only give you assists or like that one random goal. But
Mm,
so that's why I think that if Alexis McAllister plays, he has a penalty potential. He sometimes takes penalties,
mhm.
right? Salah and him rotate, but since Salah is the top scorer of Premier League, Salah will grab the ball if they get a penalty.
No, McAllister is his second choice. Salah is the first
Second choice,
choice.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So all right, so midfield is done, right?
yeah, pretty much. We
So,
spoke a
so
lot.
তোমার your template basically stays still the same, right? Saka injury হওয়াতে it was
Oh,
Palmer, Salah, Saka, and then probably Bruno or somebody else,
guys, if you
right?
remember, a few weeks back, I talked about the template, which everybody had until this point, which was Salah, Saka, Palmer. Salah, Saka, Palmer. I'm sorry if I'm talking too quickly. Now that Saka is out, the template is going to radically shift. There's going to be the Enzos, there's going to be the Brunos. Don't forget Heung-min Son, who's been looking really good because the
Mm-hmm.
budget has opened up. Saka is a very expensive player. So people
Mm.
can put that money on Heung-min Son. They can put the money on Bruno, Odegaard, Martinelli, Diaz, Szoboszlai, McAllister, you name it. Because it's going to open up a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so the
Mbeumoর
the
কি
whole
অবস্থা?
FPL scope is gonna change.
How about my boy Mbeumo? You know?
So yeah, Mbomo is actually not a bad shout. I was just reading something on Mbomo. He is playing Brighton away and then Arsenal at home. So he
Yeah,
will end up being a differential because a lot of people are not gonna gamble on him.
I'm holding on to him.
My God, I don't know what to tell you.
আমি এখন ওরে
He's
ট্রান্সফার
too
করলে তো
great.
তাহলে ওরে ট্রান্সফার করলে তো -12 নিতে হবে.
No, no, Mbomo. I know, understand. I understand.
I might not play him. It might be him or between him and Ahmad. But Ahmad bench
Who's
যাবে.
Ahmad playing anyways?
Wolves away.
Oh, Wolves away. Yeah, Ahmad might do good in that match.
You think so?
Yeah.
অ্যাসিস্ট দিতে পারে না? গোলের চাইতে অ্যাসিস্টের চান্স আছে
No,
বেশি.
no, he's. I think he's gonna score.
Wolves-এর সাথে?
Why not?
আচ্ছা. I mean, it's Manchester United, man.
It is wishful thinking.
Wishful, very wishful thinking. Okay, so তুমি কি স্ট্রাইকারে যাবা না ডিফেন্সে যাবা?
Striker, I think we
এখন
covered. We talked about Duran. We talked about Gakpo. We talked about. We didn't talk about the Pedros and the Welbecks because I think that the Pedro Welbeck, when they both play, that's when they link off each other, just
yeah.
like Wissa and Mbomo. So I think that if you want to have a Brighton asset, you might want to hold on to them until they play. Their fixtures are very up and down, so I'm not going for any Brighton asset yet. But Brentford have a weak defense, so Mitoma Pedro is still the option.
Pedro can do
I'm
good with
sorry, I
against.
didn't mention Isak. Did I mention Isak?
You didn't mention Isak. You didn't mention Cunha.
Sorry, guys. Isak and Cunha were both are in my team. I'm gonna play both of them this week because I
Mm,
think Isak is gonna really, really make Aston Villa run for the defense.
really? I
I
mean,
think so.
Murphy ke chhara Isak কিছু না.
I
We need
forgot to
Murphy on the
mention
right.
Murphy. He's
Jacob
been
Murphy on
so
the right.
awesome. Oh my God, he's been so awesome. Oh man, I remember 2 seasons ago when they thrashed Spurs. Remember within 12 minutes they were up 4-0.
Yeah.
I brought in Murphy out of excitement, but that's when he dipped in form. But Murphy's been looking so good. His understanding with Isak is awesome. Murphy can also be a potential replacement. But however, those fixtures are not bad. Aston Villa, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspurs, and Wolves. So you can definitely look into Murphy.
Yeah, for a cheaper option for Salah.
He
Sorry,
he,
Saka.
he can be your
Sorry.
Enzo.
He can be my end. So Murphy একটা option আছে, right? So we can do that.
Definitely.
But I don't want to take a chance on Murphy against Aston Villa. Maybe later.
Manchester
Later.
United is coming up, 29 December.
ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড কিন্তু নিউক্যাসলের সাথে অত গা ছেড়ে দেয় না, সো দেখা যাবে. I don't think I'm gonna go with Murphy because Murphy's gonna go up against Dalo,
No
my
comments.
boy. তোমার ওইটা একটু কলারে থেকে সরাও, নাহলে খসখস করবে. অডিয়েন্স বলবে যে কি ব্যাপার ভাই, তুমি তুমি এত স্ট্যাটিক দিচ্ছ কেন?
Sorry.
সো না, ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেডের সাথে নিউক্যাসল আমি মার্ফিকে নিব না.
Okay.
ইজাকরে মার্কিং করতেই খবর হয়ে যাবে, ম্যাগোয়ারে
I
আনতে
know.
হবে. ওকে, সো ম্যাগোয়ারকে নিয়ে আমরা লাস্টে কথা বলবো.
Sure.
মাই বয় হ্যারি. ওকে, সো তারপরে আমরা যাচ্ছি ডিফেন্সে. ডিফেন্সের টেমপ্লেটটা আমাকে একটু বলবা কেউ প্লিজ? There has not been a template.
There is.
তোমার তোমার টেমপ্লেট কি? রবিনসন আছে, মিলেনকোভিচ আছে.
I've had Robinson since game week 1. Okay. So
Yeah.
I have been really trusting Arsenal too much because I have double Arsenal defense.
Hmm.
Okay. I have Raya and Timber because when Gabriel had that fake ass injury, I sold Gabriel. এটা উচিতই হয়নি, বাট যাই হোক এখন
ও
নটিংহ্যাম
দাঁত সাদা
ফরেস্ট
করতে গেছিল. ওর ইনজুরি ছিল না. He went for some teeth whitening. Yeah.
Nottingham Forest and Fulham as someone I have been holding on to, Robinson and Milankovic. But we have to talk about Aina and Sells, who
Hmm.
we know a certain someone in our mini league who has both of them and now is third in our mini league. It's Kanchun Bhai. And he was awesome. He scored 22 points from
Yeah.
both of them. I think that was I mean, don't call it luck. I think he's been waiting for that for a long time because he's been playing them for a long time.
অনেকদিন, হ্যাঁ, I think that he holding on to them since what, game week 6 or 5 or 6
Something like that.
এরকম.
Yeah. Aina scored. Aina got a clean sheet and bonus points.
Yeah.
Sells got a clean sheet and bonus points. It was
Yeah.
insane. That blew
Yeah.
everything apart. So yeah, Nottingham Forest is someone I think you should definitely consider. They are playing Tottenham Hotspurs at home, Everton, Wolves. These are all excellent fixtures for Nottingham
Hmm.
Forest. And if you have a keeper dilemma, Sells you might go for. I'm heavily considering Sells to bring him in because, yeah, this week Arsenal playing Ipswich, so I'll go with Raya. But moving forward, I might want Matt Sells.
Hmm.
And guys, I think we're all of us sleeping on Everton defense, honestly, because Everton, Starkowski, and the other players are actually doing very good.
Myalenko, no, Mikolenko.
Nikolenko, yes,
He's there. Ashley Young, Tarkowski, and
Tarkovsky,
then there's Tarkovsky, and then there's certain Jordan Pickford. Man, that guy's still
Pickford.
number 1
That
in
guy's still
FPL.
number one. Yes. Oh, another defense that we have been sleeping on. None of us have mentioned is Newcastle defense. Fabian
Louis
Schär
Hall,
and Hall. Hall
Shar.
has
Shar is getting the points.
He is. Lewis Hall has had 22 points in the last 2 weeks, 15 points against Leicester, 7 points against Ipswich. Whoever targeted those two fixtures, hats off to you. And a lot of people on our mini league had Hall, and they really benefited from these two fixtures. And this is where the FPL brains come in. If you have two lose fixtures back to back, you can easily pile your money into defense because you know these people are
Hmm.
not good in scoring. So I think both Adil and I missed out on advising that and also applying it to ourselves.
আমি হলকে তো কনসিডারই করিনি আমি হলকে তো দেখে মনে হচ্ছে
Exactly.
অডিটোরিয়ামে যেতে হবে
Uh,
সো সো
I'm
ইয়া সো
I'm
ইউ
actually
সাজেস্ট
gonna
হল
bring. I'm suggesting Hall. I'm suggesting Fabian Schär. I'm suggesting someone I think I'm gonna bring him in very very soon. It's gonna be a Bournemouth defender. His name is.
কার্কেজ
No, it's not him. It's a
ও
very
হিউসন
yes, Houston. Thank you.
ওই যে দ্য কুল গাই সেলিব্রেশন দ্য
Yes,
চিল গাই সেলিব্রেশন
chill guy celebration.
হিউসন রে
Very good.
আমি এবার আনতে চাইছিলাম I wanted he's a very good he has a Scandinavian name but he's a Spanish international very surprising
Houston has had 2 goals in the last 4 game weeks. One against Tottenham
yeah
Hotspurs, one against Manchester United. And I think Houston is 4.3 million. His price is gonna go up
go
any
up
second. I'm really 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 considering him bringing him in this week.
go
So
for it take
depends
a
on.
-8
Let me see how many transfers I have. I have 2 transfers.
how do you have 2 transfers তুমি কি লাস্ট উইকে কোনো ট্রান্সফার করো নাই
No.
তোমরা কি চামে চামে মানে সবাই এই যে প্রফেসর সায়েন্টিস্ট এরা কি তোমার খালি ট্রান্সফার না করে করে বাঁচায় রেখে তারপরে একসাথে 2টা মেরে দাও
I'm learning a thing or two from him because I saw that he was holding on to 3 transfers. So I think that holding on to transfers is once you have your template, bro, you can do a lot of things. So having that
বাবারে বাবা
template,
কত কিছু শেখা আছে মানে প্রতি সপ্তাহে ট্রান্সফার করবো না
if you have a
লাইক
rock solid midfield, defend 3 good defenders and 2 strikers, no
না
need.
রাইট ভালো গোলকিপার
That's why I'm telling you not to get off the rail.
আমার ডাউনফল হয়েছে যখন ডিলিটকে সরাইছিলাম আই নিড মাই ডিলিট ব্যাক
Hmm.
ডিলিট ইজ ইনজুর্ড আই থিংক হি ইজ নট প্লেইং এন্ড ওকে ছাড়া ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড লস্ট
I would still say the
হি
Cunha hype train.
আই মিস দ্যাট মেবি আই এম নট মিসিং দ্য ডুরান হাইপ ট্রেন দিস টাইম
Maybe not.
কুনিয়া কিন্তু সাসপেন্ডেড হইতে পারে রাইট ও হি মাইট গেট আ এফএ
Yes.
ব্যান সো
Yeah,
দ্যাট
yeah.
মাইট কাম ইনটু এফেক্ট আইদার
That's
দিস
yeah, that's
গেম উইক
something we're gonna know
or
very
next
soon.
or next game week because the way he wanted to beat that guy up so yeah so so তোমার defense what's the final template for the defense
Okay, I think it's Robinson, Aina,
Hmm.
Tarkovsky, and Houston.
No. Where is Saliba and Gabriel in this?
I'm so sorry, guys. I've been doing differential picks. Yes. So yeah, Gabriel, Robinson, Aina, and between Houston and Tarkovsky, I'm gonna pick Houston.
না আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি ওভারঅল হিউসন তো কেবল আসছে কুকের জায়গায় না কার জায়গায় I mean if you want to hold on long term it has to be either Gabriel or Saliba if you look at the cumulative points right
One or the other, yeah.
one or the other then there's Van Dijk too অনেকে Van Dijkকে হোল্ড করতেছে না but there's Van Dijk if you look at the
The price
consistent
point,
compounding
the price point pushes me away from Van Dijk.
price point আছে but Trent Alexander-Arnold
Too expensive.
so you cannot have Trent you can have a Trent and Saliba you just have to mix in with either Houston or Aina
Let's see how the numbers talk. The highest scoring defender right now in fantasy is Aina, Gabriel, Young, Trent, Van Dijk. So out of the top 5 I mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 2 Liverpool defenders. So yeah, Adil, you're
Mhm.
actually right. Your template defense should have a Liverpool defender.
Yeah, I think so because if you can squeeze in both Gabriel and Van Dijk in there somehow
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
should be
so
good
Virgil van Dijk is 6.5, Trent is 7.1, Gabriel 6.3, Aina 5 million. So you're looking at least 6 and 6, 12, 12, 13, 18, about 18 to 25 million on defense.
yeah তাহলে মিডফিল্ডটাকে একটু সস্তা করে তারপরে স্ট্রাইকে দিতে পারো
Now that
again
Saka's
it
gone,
depends
midfield can be Shosta.
yeah midfield can be সস্তা with some Moshla picks so yeah I think defense I think we are not দেখো what I saw is like আমি স্ট্র্যান্ডকে নিয়ে যেটা দেখলাম I lost a lot of points in striking
Yeah.
Strand kept me stranding, Strand Larson. But ওখানে যদি আমার ডিফেন্স স্ট্রং হইতো, ইনক্লুডিং দ্য গোলকিপার
Mm.
অ্যান্ড ডিফেন্স, ওখান থেকে ইজিলি আমার কিন্তু 15 পয়েন্ট চলে আসে।
See, that's your learning phase because festive period either you go high or you plummet. There's no in between. You look at our
Hmm.
mini league. Some people are
Yeah, yeah.
climbing, some people are falling. That's what the festive thing does to you. But
I
I
don't
think
think
that
not all people are falling. This is very consistent. I'm the one who's the more differential in this. So
but I feel
in the
like
mini
there's a
league.
huge learning curve for you here because that you have learned about spreading the money into defense as well. When you have a low tier team striker or a low tier team defender, you balance it by the high tier team defender or striker, vice versa.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my only gamble didn't pay off with Vardiol. Vardiol gave me 0 points.
Hmm.
But Vardiol and Mazraoui considered a penalty. Jekhane Mazraoui was doing pretty good, cumulative points wise.
He was.
Like
He was.
he was. So again, so defense is still up in the air, but this is a good starting point for like these players.
Definitely.
Template wise.
Definitely, yes.
Now we go back and finish it up with goalkeepers and captains. Goalkeepers. Best goalkeeper is still Pickford, right? I'm still
I'm
happy
gonna
that Onana is not in the conversation, but
Pickford is the highest
Jordan,
scoring goalkeeper
yeah,
right now. He is at 73 points, closely followed by whoever I mentioned, Matt Sells. I'm very proud I mentioned this without looking at the data. So it was Sells and then Onana and then Raya and Sanchez. Sanchez, a lot of people have Sanchez. Chelsea
yeah,
defensively are actually doing good. Sanchez actually is like a squirrel. He's been doing the saves. I saw the games. He's actually been doing good. The only problem with Sanchez is that Chelsea ends up conceding goals last minute or stoppage time. So I think Pickford sells Onana. Onana I will not definitely not mention, but Pickford sells Raya Sanchez are
Flecken.
your hell no. I'm not gonna mention Flecken.
Why not?
He leaks goals a lot. Brentford are defensively very, very bad.
He doesn't save a lot. He saves a lot. He gets the points by saving,
Well,
not
you can give
keeping
him,
clean
you can
sheets.
knight him. Sir saves a lot, but that's all that he can do.
What about Kepa?
Yes, of course, Kepa. I'm sorry, I didn't mention Kepa. If you have Bournemouth, if it's too tough for you to go to Kerkez, Senesi, Houston, go for Kepa. He is only 4.5 million.
ওর last name কেমনে উচ্চারণ করে?
Hariza Balaga.
Thank you. So goalkeeper is done. Now, the most important one. Captains for this game week 18.
Okay. So a lot of people are gonna activate triple captain this week. I didn't read it anywhere. It's just my gut feeling because if I had triple captain, I would have played this week on Salah on Leicester, and it's really, really bothering me. Uh, it's bothering me a lot. But it's okay. In terms of fixture ticker, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, Manchester City are sitting on top of the fixture ticker, but we know that we should not look at any of the Manchester teams. We should only look at Arsenal and Liverpool for captaincy. So, which brings us to it used to be Saka. Who are you going to rely on? Gabriel Jesus? Hit or miss? Odegaard? Definitely. You can definitely go for Odegaard. Martinelli? You can go for Martinelli. But Liverpool just got off a huge, huge game against Spurs. Would you not want to captain a Liverpool player? But it has to be Mohamed Salah.
Agreed. আমি মাইনাস যতই পয়েন্ট নেই, ক্যাপ্টেন আমার সালাই থাকতেছে এই উইকে। ঠিক আছে? I am not in that loophole of like, oh, -4 নিছি, ওটারে cover করি, ওটারে captain বানায়. Not going down that route again. -8 নিছি, -8 gone. Recover it with some other way. সালাকে ক্যাপ্টেন দিতেছি আমি। No Palmer, nothing. Salah going captain. And আমার fear হচ্ছে একটাই, এই ব্রকলি কিন্তু ডিফেন্সে খেলবে, অকলি। ঠিক আছে? মাথায় হাত দিয়ে কোনো লাভ নাই. There is a guy called Rude and there is a guy called Jamie Vardy who loves to score against Liverpool. We have not spoken about him. So he might have a party and then আমরা যেটা এক্সপেক্ট করতেছি যে 4-0 6-0 হবে, might not happen. So so Leicester আমি জানি যে হারবে, বাট গুহারা হারবে এটা প্রেডিক্ট করা ঠিক হবে না। সেম উইথ আর্সেনাল ইপসউইচ, যে ইপসউইচে একদম পুরা কিরণ ম্যাকেনা will roll over to Mikel Arteta. I don't think that might not happen. So দুইটা কিন্তু ইফি, ইটস ইন ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ, ইটস নট লা লিগা যে বিগ টিম গুলো এখানে জিতে, you know?
The two Atleticos, Barcelona and Madrid.
The two Atletico একটাই, ওই সেকেন্ডটা জিতে না বেশি, ওই দুই ব্রাদারকে নিয়ে খেলে আর কি, খালি ব্রাদার্সটা
Brotherhood.
খেলে।
I'm sorry, apologizing too much today. That's my sickness. We forgot to mention Solanke as a striker option.
ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড এগেইনস্টে স্কোর করছে কারাবাও কাপে বলে, আর লিভারপুলের সাথে করছিল না স্কোর, রাইট?
Yeah, goal and assist.
Still Solanke, a lot of people are holding on to Solanke. I'm not getting it.
You have to consider him.
না Posteloglu না Koklu না কি জানি Ange, he's gonna go away, man. He's gonna get fired pretty soon. Like, nobody's believing me. Yeah, he's not gonna stay, mate. He's not gonna stay there for long, mate. So yeah, just be careful picking Spurs players. Only player I will pick is Kulusevski if I had to go with a Spurs player. So Solanke gone.
Madison.
তোমার জন্য it's ভাই ম্যাডিসনের ব্যাপারটা তো বোঝা যায় না রে ভাই, কবে খেলবে, কবে ইনজোর্ড থাকবে, গেম 90 মিনিট শুরু করবে না 60 মিনিটস থেকে শুরু করবে, হু নোজ। I'm willing to risk my first spot. ম্যাডিসনকে আমি নিতে চাচ্ছি না, বিকজ ম্যাডিসনের আমি ইনজুরি ব্যাপারটা, can we pull up a data like how long he has been injured, then how many points he has scored?
I can tell you the points for sure, but injured I
he
can't.
has been injured more than the points he actually scored for FPL managers. That guy has been injured since Leicester days, man. Yeah,
Madison
I cannot
scored a total of 97 points this season.
But he has been injured most of it. He's very prolific with points.
He's sitting he's in number 5 in top midfielder rankings.
Yeah, but খেলছে কম ভাই। ও এবার ইনজুর্ড হয়ে যেতে পারে।
He's a differential.
He's not as bad as Mason.
10.3%.
Huh?
He's owned by 10.3%.
Yeah. So সবাই আমার মতোই. He's not as bad as Mason Mount. Not made of glass, but he's good. But I like the way he actually took Van Dijk for the short Van Dijk, যে ওদিকে দেখাও, ওদিকে পাসা দিয়ে Van Dijk ওদিকে গেছে। Very good. And Van Dijk was like, look at me, let me show you my pasa, and then he just scored. That's it. So I like that. He's a very talented midfielder, number 10, but যেটাকে আমরা ক্যাম বলি, ক্যাম না, center attacking midfielder, ক্যাম. He's a very good attacking mid, but injury recordটাই ওকে ইয়ে করে। But যদি he stays fit, definitely look into getting him down the line. All right, so now you seem very much like FPL fatigue হয়ে গেছে তোমার। So এখন আমরা তোমাকে FPL থেকে একটু মুক্তি দিতে যাচ্ছি। We're going to talk about let's go to PL. Just PL. PL এ এখন কি হইতেছে দুইটা ম্যানচেস্টার ক্লাবের? I don't literally care about Manchester City, but I am hearing rumors that they're looking to buy 5 players and sell 5 or 6 players in the January transfer window.
Hit us.
According to Manchester City and other journalists, that some players have dipped in form and it's not recoverable, that they're past their best. Player গুলোর নাম মেনশন করা হয় নাই, but you can read between the lines. De Bruyne, Vardiol maybe, and then there is Savino didn't work out the way they have envisioned it, so they're looking to offload these players, Kovacic, and then bring in new players. So নামগুলো এখনো ইয়াদা যায় নাই, লিঙ্ক করা হয় নাই, but এটা very much given যে Pep cannot Pep cannot coach average players and make them great. Pep can only coach good players and make them better, right? So that's what this is coming down to. And Pep ke blame kora lab nahi because there's another club, noisy neighbors now, or declining neighbors. It's called Manchester United. And Manchester United need a complete overhaul of the squad, man. I mean, the
So
only good thing I can say um, about Manchester United versus Manchester City is that only thing I liked about it is that Harry Maguire, if he plays in a back three, he's a good defender. I've said it very many times. My ideal defender is going to be Manchester United, Harry Maguire with pace. All right, so that's
I
my
also read something about Pep that
yeah.
if Sir Alex was able
Mm.
to have an injury-prone season where he had, I don't know, he had very poor average players. He brought in Michael Owen. He brought in কালো যে টাক্কু করে একটা ডিফেন্ডার ছিল যে ব্রিটিশ বাট একটু কালো দেখতে নট
Rio
সিলভেস্ট
Ferdinand,
নো নো নো
Rio Silvestre,
সিলভেস্ট্রে
yeah.
সিলভেস্ট্রে and he had um, এইমাত্র নামটা বললাম মাইকেল ওয়েন and two more where they were having a very very bad season আর ওদেরকে সে ট্রেন করে করে ওই মানুষদেরকে ওই সিজনে সে প্রিমিয়ার লিগ জিতাইছে where all
He
those other
won John O'Shea ছিল একটা guy.
জন ওশে ছিল I think রোনাল্ডো ছিল মেবি I don't know Ronaldo was not
Ron,
peak at that time Ronaldo was তখন ড্রিবল কিং
like
ছিল আর কি
yeah.
সো এই চারজনকে দিয়ে I remember that it was like a meme I read and he said that Pep is crying about players he said something like give me my players I'll give you Premier League এমন কিছু একটা বলছে তো ওটার পরে ওটা অনেক ট্রেন্ড হয়েছে it trended on Twitter it trended on Instagram and Facebook and I saw the same meme within the same day 3 times so I feel like yeah Pep if he's being a crybaby we saw him in tears right in the Manchester derby so
Yes.
excuses will only bring you down strong personality lage and he doesn't have that unfortunately which we all these years we thought that look how strong he is.
No, I mean I remember in 2012 I think he left Barcelona, right? When things were going down a little bad for them, he just left. He went. I think he lost to Chelsea in the Champions League and then he quit Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think he's yeah. It is down to both of them, and they just throw money and bring in the best players, which is not a problem. আমার কথা হচ্ছে টাকা থাকলে টাকা ঢালো Manchester United, on the other hand, a newsটা under the radar গেছে. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually increased his stake in the club to 28.8%, I think 28% from 27.7 থেকে 28%. It's not under him anymore. Now it's under Ineos, his company. So যেটা হচ্ছে long term game আমি যেটা বুঝতেছি, he's gonna slowly increase his stake into the club. He's gonna buy more percentages of it. So it's gonna probably go down to 50% ownership. His company will own 50%, the Glazers will own 50%. Maybe it's never going to be 50-50. The Glazer might want to keep it might be 60-40, but Opura Sporting controlled on it. And that is telling me, or he might buy out the entire club. The Glazer might sell it to them. It can happen. And he's restructuring it. So he's trying to, and he injected, I think, $100 million. So that will not go into the transfer window. That's what they're saying. But if you're injecting $100 million, that means that is to balance the books so that you're not penalized for the financial fair play thing. So Manchester United will need a lot of funding to bring in the players and get rid of a lot of players. And
Any
a lot of
names?
means Randall Kolo Muani might be a striker that they look at from PSG because he fallen out of favor with Luis Enrique at PSG. They're looking at Dibbling from Southampton. The Dibbling's dribbling, but they're gonna cost them a lot.
Can we
So
also clarify is it for January or summer?
January. Summer Dibbling summer হইতে পারে, but January তে Kolo Muani. as a striker.
Wow.
Zirkzee might leave. There is also an option of Rashford leaving. So Rashford was dropped. He basically, the whole situation is, if you're not aware, the people around him are.
I'm not aware.
Oh, you're not aware of Rashford's the
Too
whole
much
whole
Moshla, I
thing.
was sick.
Oh, okay. So let me give you the Moshla. Rashford and Garnacho were dropped. Then Garnacho was brought back against Wolves. Or was it not Wolves? Against Bournemouth. And Rashford was dropped entirely. He's still out of the squad. He's not training. And then he went on to an interview on Twitter with a journalist who only publishes on Twitter, I think. And he said that, yeah, if it's the time to leave, I will leave, but I will never bash Manchester United when I'm leaving, like some other ex-players. Time is up. And Amorim didn't like that fact. Amorim's thing was like, if you have to say those words, say it to me, not to the media, basically. So that is being punished. And then Amorim came out yesterday with the pre-match press conference for Wolves and said that Rashford is a good player. He's working hard, but maybe he's advised by the wrong people. So
Wow.
his people around him are the problem, and that's what they're trying to fix. But I think writing is on the wall. I think there has been some leaks of before the Manchester City game. The team news was leaked 24 hours prior that Harry Maguire is going to start in a back three. So that was leaked. The suspects were Garnacho and Rashford and Ahmad. So Ahmad and Garnacho got cleared. Rashford might be the suspect. From that, the whole situation started, and he was, because Rashford, mind you, Rashford scored a couple of goals under Amorim. So this whole disciplinary thing started, and then people around him are like, the Ineos is like, okay, we're going to leave it up to the manager to decide what he's going to do with him. If he wants to sell him, the asking price is 40 million pounds. He went from 100 million to 40 million. So they're looking to cut the losses because he's like 305,000 pounds per week or 310. So they want to sell him if he wants to go. So that's where they are. And they might want to replace him with, a Randall Colomwani or even Nico Williams. Might be a difficult one, but that's for the summer. That's for summer. If not
It's for the
for
long
January,
haul.
for the long haul. This one might be more like give us another Colomwani or Dibbling or something like that. So that's Manchester United in a nutshell.
The two
So
the two neighbors.
yes. So, and also there's rumors that they're looking at goalkeepers too. Kobel from Dortmund, because Bayindir, he should not be conceding that goal from Song from the corner, man. I'm sorry. So,
I'm in
and
Binder's
Onana,
side in this one.
you're in Bayindir's side. No, you protect the goal. You saw David De Gea got bullied like that. You protect the
You
goal.
need character.
Yeah. So now, who's the goalkeeper that you want to see? Kobel coming in?
For sure. Kobel is so able.
Kobel is so able. For the Swiss keeper from Borussia Dortmund. All right, we'll
Kobel
leave
is
it
so
at that.
capable.
Kobel is so capable. Nice. I like that. Fardan doing Fardan things. Scientists doing scientist things. So anything else we want to touch or not? We'll see.
We need people to touch.
We need people to touch
We need our listeners to touch.
the podcast, the comment section.
The like button and the subscribe button.
Oh, and the like and the subscribe button. Yes, correct.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that how can they virtually touch us? Virtually তো টাচ করতে পারবো না, টাচ করলে তো আমি তো থাপ্পড় খাবো, because I said that Martinez is not the best goalkeeper in the world, and a lot of people are
That makes
not
two of
happy about
us.
it. Yeah, he's not the best goalkeeper in the world.
He's
So,
not.
but please comment down below.
Yes, and we will reply with not just emoji. We will have a conversation with you.
Definitely. Fardhan has a lot of Moshla time on his hands right now, so he's gonna do it. But we're looking forward to game week 19 and then the game week 20 in this festive period.
Just two
Busy
game weeks
schedule.
for this year,
Yeah.
all within like I don't know, 5 days.
5 or 7 days. Yeah,
Boxing Day, 26th December, and then there's 29 December. So
yeah.
there's going to be heavy rotations. If you're talking about FPL, listen to the press conferences, listen to the injury. People are fatigued, players are fatigued. So just keep looking at the press conferences.
All right. I think that's a good place to stop and start the game week 18 hype train. Right? We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for putting up with us, especially me. Fardan, don't fall asleep. I know it's time. We'll
No,
we'll
I'm
we'll
okay. I'm okay. I'm just. I'm hopefully I'll be better for next pod.
yes, hopefully Fardan's gonna be number 1 and I'll be number 10.
That's not
Either
what
you're
I'm
first
hoping.
or either you're first or you're last. Nobody remembers the in-between ones. So thank you so much. Take care, guys.
Take care. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye.